should just
Someone says, is that the dude with one nut? Yes, that's the dude with one nut. Yeah.
I forgot about that. Stop. Why would you do that? Stop. Why would you guys do that?
Hello, guys. I got a question. Have you ever had an ex-girlfriend who just wouldn't let it go? She couldn't accept that you just didn't want to be with her anymore. That particular bus had left, and it had all your luggage in it, and you just couldn't put up with what she had to offer at all. So much so you realized your own personal value, and you said, I just can't be associated with somebody like you. And in your disassociation with her, she thought it was okay at first. You didn't curse her out. You didn't slander her. You didn't call her any names. You just left. You did it on a level of class and respect, which is something that many men do and don't get credit for. And that's the point that I want to make today. You see, many men do things like this. And it's the women in cases that are petty. But we only hear about the cases where the men are petty. But this is typically what I believe happens. What am I talking about? I know I'm giving you an example but that you can relate to. And I wanted to put it in that format because every man has went through that. You've had an ex-wife or ex-girlfriend and it didn't work out. And all of a sudden you start getting calls. You block the number. You get calls from a different number. You block the number. And then after they can't get through to you, then they start hating on you. They start going around talking about you have a little penis or you smell bad, you're gay, everything because you just don't want to deal with them. And they want to be very vindictive. This is the same thing happening with the mediocre tutorials and reviews. And let me just say this, as a content creator, I always give this particular young man a lot of credit because he doesn't diss people for the most part. He doesn't dox people. He doesn't really curse so much. He really deals with the arguments and the facts, and he cuts the camera off. There's no personal beefs or grudges going on. And when Just Dusty Things released that video with Nick Fuentes, he didn't know about it. When he did, he addressed it. He publicly wanted to distance himself from her platform, and he didn't want to be seen with her ever again. That was his particular position. That was his posture. But some people just can't let it go. And so what you saw there in the beginning clip was just Pearly Things and her producer Blessings, making fun of the fact that this man had cancer. But I want mediocre tutorials and reviews to explain the cancer scare, and then I'm going to come back.
Now, to catch some people up, in the fall of 2021, I was diagnosed with testicular cancer. Actually, I have a video up on the channel where a few hours removed of my diagnosis, I made a video speaking about what has happened and what will happen going into the future, after which I took about 30 days off to mentally collect myself as I was physically healing through this bout. It was without a doubt one of the most traumatic experiences that I've gone through within my life. And with anybody who's gone through a cancer diagnosis, or anybody that has a family member or a loved one that has gone through cancer, you guys all know exactly what it is that I'm speaking about. I released that video because I had one goal in mind, and that goal was to save lives. Now, prior to me clicking publish on the I Have Cancer video, I knew that certain unscrupulous people on the internet, those that will troll to entertain themselves, or just haters in general, will stop at nothing to use information like that, especially information that they think that you're self-conscious about, to utilize that as ammunition, to weaponize that information against me. But through that, I chose to release that video because my goal is to help men. And if I have the opportunity to save lives, because I speak about something that's not given enough airtime within this society, then I absolutely will. And I would never take back that decision, especially after receiving email after email from people affected, from mothers and fathers saying thank you because of what you said and urging men to go get their physicals and their screenings. You have saved my son's life. And my response to them is, if I had the opportunity, I would absolutely do it again. All of the hate that I have received, all of the people alleging that I've never had cancer, they can all kick rocks because I want to deliver value to this world at the end of the day.
That was in 2021. The whole Black YouTube world was shocked. And actually, to be fair, for those of you who remember, after that 1 month off, he came back and did better on YouTube than ever before, with making less content. Actually, he actually became a better YouTuber, which was very shocking to me. To leave the game for a month and come back and perform at that level was astounding. And then that put him into the realm of collaborating with the bigger guys. He passed me. He got cool with Kevin. He broadened his audience. And then, of course, you know, big content creators deal with big content creators. And so he decided to collaborate with Just Pearly Things. But then after that Nick Fuentes interview, he decided that enough was enough. So then what happened, in his own words? Let's play that clip.
So I'm gonna utilize this as a teaching lesson, as well as you guys to understand a little bit more about insights regarding me, because maybe I'm tripping, all right? Maybe this is just completely funny, ha, kiki. It's fair game to utilize shame and insults, and specifically a cancer diagnosis or laughing at a cancer diagnosis, in order to exact revenge upon our enemies, right? So in order to understand that, let's understand first the context of the situation. So here's the long story short version of the situational context. And it's as follows. Just Pearly Things does content with Nick Fuentes. I land in London a month later, unaware that this content was done, and did not watch the content before coming into London. I get back from London, the story blows up, and I slowly come to the realization of the gravity of said comments and decide to distance myself away from the Just Pearly Things network and platform. Now, before I drop my video entitled Holding Just Pearly Things Accountable, I called Pearl, had a conversation with her, and told her that I'm going to publicly distance myself away from her platform, as well as her offering to me to not air the footage of the Red Pill Bachelor. And let me also talk about this. The reason why I chose to do that is because people would still associate my brand towards her if future content was released on her platform. I never addressed that video again on my platform, and even live streams that I've had where people have asked me specific questions, I have chosen to not say a damn thing. I left her alone, I left her platform alone, and I continued to create the content that I wanted to create. But over a month later, I am now one nut, laugh. Bringing up and making light of a man's bout with cancer seems like a disproportionate response to me. There's gonna be a lot of people that will disagree with that, but I think that the majority of moral, sane, happy, value-added people, results-driven and oriented people on society would agree with me. So then I asked myself, well, why is the response so disproportional? And it's either A, they're just doing it for views. They're just doing it for clicks. They're doing it to just drum up some drama shit. Maybe the views are declining over there and this is what they got to do in order to stir shit up. Or B, they are genuinely very upset, mad, and angry that I have chosen to distance myself away from them from a platform or a business perspective. It's like she's more mad that I distanced myself away from the platform than I was mad at the doctor for throwing my right nut away. This shit kind of reminds me of some Modern Woman shit, like you break up with a girl and in response, she keys your goddamn car. So that's the contextual environmental situation that I think all men need to understand before responding to somebody.
Yeah, you're right, MTR. She is like a stalker, right? Now, I want to do something here because see, Just Pearly Things is a female in the red pill space who is very vindictive as a modern woman. She's trying to speak for men, but she is such a feminist and doesn't even know it. That she's bringing that petty behavior from a modern woman into the manosphere space. And you see, this is because she has no real experience with men. I want to play Better Bachelor's clip here to kind of expose that, and he makes a really good point. I think it's poignant. Let's play that, and then we're gonna come right back.
Right, let's go there. You want to go back in the past and embarrass yourself again? Go ahead. Go ahead. What you want? Let's go.
Pearl's channel is heavily inspired by Kevin Samuels and Fresh and Fit.
Women in general, especially in the United States, England, whatever it may be, are not held accountable for their poor decisions.
Men are trash. That's common in society, right? Women are trash isn't. Men are held accountable all the time, every day.
All these women are born with value. They're pretty already. As a man, if you don't make yourself valuable, you have no value.
Women are born with value. Men must create their value. A guy doesn't lose his value just because he picks the wrong woman once.
Just men are attracted to youth, beauty, and fertility. It's been that way since the beginning of time.
Men value purity and youth. Purity, youth, beauty.
You can really get those.
So let me just pause it here for a second. So what Brittany put together there was pretty much kind of what you heard Kevin Samuels say. Of course, Kevin's not with us anymore. You've heard Fresh and Fit say. You've heard Andrew Tate say. You've heard me say. You've heard Sandman say. You've heard Turd Flinging Monkey say. You've heard Coach Greg Adams say. Donovan Sharp has said. The list goes on and on and on. And many more channels that have been around a lot longer than I've been around. So many of you could say, yeah, dude, but you say the same stuff, and you got it from those OGs as well. Yeah, you're correct, and I won't deny that. But the difference is I've also lived the experience, and the difference is I'm also a man. So it affects me. She has no knowledge of any of this firsthand. So what she's really doing is kind of regurgitating what others have said already. And again, look, you guys know I don't have a problem with Pearly Things. And I've said in the past, I think she is a good overall. But again, that'll be in my hot take at the end of this.
You see, guys, this lady, just Pearly Things, is mad that he doesn't want to deal with her anymore on any kind of level. He's never made any more videos about her. She made a live stream talking about how she's going to post the Red Pill Bachelor footage. The guy said he didn't want her to post it because he didn't want people to think that he was cool with her, and he's not. But that's the point. I guess that's being vindictive, especially after she took accountability for that mistake. And these are the people that guys are following in the Red Pill. This is the same person that really, in my honest opinion, split the black manosphere. Here you have a lady who is making fun of a black man and laughing at her cancer the same way that she laughed at black people. It makes sense now, right? The person who's not the racist loves laughing at black people's shortcomings, cancers, bad stereotypes. That's what she likes to do. And these are the people that you guys want to prop up. Let me just tell you this in closing. No other group would respect somebody who talks like that. And for many of you black men who are okay with that, this is exactly why most of you as a group are destitute. Exactly, I'm talking about as a group. Don't tell me you have your little IBM job or you do very well making $100,000. You can't achieve anything for your group at all because you're too busy being disrespected, and you're okay with being disrespected, which is why you don't get Goldman Sachs loans coming to your community. That's why your men don't get empowered, because you allow just dusty things to laugh at the black man's cancer. This is the issue here. And the longer that this goes on, the longer that we get to see this chick ain't nothing nice. So guys, what do you think? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Junk. Appreciate you for all that you do. Subscribe to the bell. We're out.